to draw a line of a given gradient, we need to make sure that they're in the form of a fraction first. If they're given to you as a whole number, then all you need to do to make it a fraction is by put it over 1. So for example, 5 on its own would be considered as 5 over 1. The reason being is that we know that gradient is equal to rise over run, so we need to have it in a fraction format to know that 5 over 1 would be 5 rise, run 1. We then choose any point to start with, and we follow the rise and run for the line we're drawing. Remember, a negative rise means you're going to go down, or a negative run means you're going to go left. If you have a negative gradient, make sure that you only change the rise or the run, but not both. So if we were to draw a line of gradient 5, I'm going to choose this. Oops. I'm going to choose this point here to start my gradient. Notice I've put the point on a grid line. So if I'm drawing the gradient 5, 1, it means from this point I'm going to rise 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to run once. There's my point. Now, we could just join those up with a ruler, but ideally we will have a third point to join it with. So, once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and run 1. As I said, we then take our ruler and we would join them up with a straight line. Obviously mine's not so straight. So let's look at some examples here. We've already done the 5. So 2/3, we can see that it's already a fraction. So I'm going to start down here. I'm going to rise 2 and run 3. I'm going to rise 2, run 3. And there is our line of gradient 2/3. For 3, as I said, we need to make sure that they are written as a fraction. At the moment it's just 3, so we now want to consider this as 3 over 1. So I'm going to start my point. So C, I'm going to start here. So from that point I'm going to rise 3, 1, 2, 3, and run 1. Rise 3, 1, oops, 1, 2, 3, and run 1. There are my 3 points. Join them up with a straight line. 5 over 2, already a fraction, so I'm going to rise 5, so this is 5 over 2. I'm going to choose this point here. I'm going to rise 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and run 2, 1, 2. And I'm going to repeat that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, run 2. And join those up. Okay, moving on to the next example. This one's a negative gradient. So we know that it's going to be pointing in the opposite direction. So it's a whole number at the moment, so we need to make it a fraction. So it's negative 2 over 1. Remember, as I said, you only change either the rise or the run to be negative. So this case here, I'm actually going to start up here. So rise negative 2, which means I'm going to go down 2 and across 1. Down 2 and across 1. As I join my points up, I can see that it's downhill sloping, which looks correct, because I know that gradients are always downhill if they are negative. And the final example is negative 1/2, so it's already a fraction. So it's a negative gradient, so I'm going to start at this point, so I'm going to go down 1 and across 2. Down 1 and across 2. And there is my gradient of negative 1/2.